So as Pedram was saying, myself, Mike Azarian, Jill Lovett, and Tyler King, the three of us are collaborating together to represent Hudson on leasing what's vacant now at Shops on Main. What's happening on Roosevelt Island, I think, is very exciting. It's an amazing community. You guys all have known each other and you've been here for a long time. You're a very tight-knit community. I used to live in Stuyvesant Town for 7 or 8 years, so I know what it's like to be a part of a big complex with many voices and a lot of amenities that are very neighborhood-driven, or in Stuyvesant Town, lack thereof, I should say, because everything's on the peripheral. Our idea, our vision is a couple of pieces. One, you have what's going on with the Cornell campus. That's generated a lot of press, that's generated a lot of interest, coupled with also the new residential housing on the southern side as well, but closer to the bridge and the tram. That's brought a lot more, I would say. I personally have friends with their spouses and their children that have moved to the island. My first time on the island was about 8 years ago. I came out here for a different real estate project. It was to look at some of the Mitchell-Lama buildings. At my previous firm, I used to work at a company called Massey Knackle, and Massey Knackle was the largest investment sales company in Manhattan. We were then purchased by Cushman Wakefield. At that time, I was already involved in retail leasing, so we got integrated into the retail leasing group. We actually just got acquired again by another company called DTZ. I don't know if you follow the real estate press at all, but now Cushman is a part of DTZ, and we're 43,000 people worldwide. So we have, yes, and we have a lot of people, So we have outreaches locally, tentacles everywhere in the local markets. Part of our Massey Knackle strategy was a very neighborhood-centric focus. So we cataloged and canvassed every area in Queens, Brooklyn, all the neighborhoods in Manhattan, Upper Manhattan. We compiled tenant databases of every one of those areas, which we still utilize today. We have a whole team that upgrades that. So that's something we brought from the Massey Knackle group to Cushman, and Cushman still maintains. So we think with that, we could channel that to kind of help us with what you guys have here, and that's to really bring amenity-driven tenants to what you have in the vacant spaces here.
So what do you need exactly?
So there are services, right, that you might need on the island. And I would love for you guys to tell me what services that you think you might need. We're always all ears. But anywhere, any community needs something, you know. And here you have a salon. You have a Gristedes. You have another food market. You have a lot of things that help maintain a community.
Replace Gristedes, but that's another issue.
I would love to. That'd be a nice big deal for us to do. That'd be a good one. So you have an urgent care. You have a library. You know, there are things like that make a neighborhood function, right, keep everybody happy. So you don't have to leave the island to go get something, right? Some of the buildings, for example, have pets. Right? There's no real place to have a pet store. Maybe there should be a pet store in the island somewhere. Right? Things of that nature that are geared toward keeping people feeling like they don't have to leave the island to go get something, that they can get everything here. And even stay here for the weekend. They can get food. They can go, you know, maybe even a concept, a wine bar or something like that in one of the spaces. I don't know how anyone feels about that. You can tell me how you feel about that. But things that are that continue to grow the community, make people feel like they're a part of a neighborhood is what we try to see happening over the next development for the leasing of the vacant spaces.
I think some of the surveys that, you know, we've taken, a couple of things I remember that people would like, maybe another restaurant. They talked about a bakery, but that's no chance. And a fish store, but you can't just have a fish store. You know, it had to be combined with something else.
Sure.
But we had earlier. We had a fish store.
Yeah, and went back.
And vegetables. No, I think they had to leave. It was at that point.
They pull them out of the Hudson.
Yeah.
And the East River.
Well, I don't
Hardware
remember what else.
We need hardware stores.
Well, have you seen the previous studies and analysis that were done regarding what was needed for Roosevelt Island retail, and are you incorporating that into your plan, or are you coming up with an entire new plan?
We're looking at everything that's going on in the island. So we're devising a new plan. I would love to see the old plan if that's accessible. Is it something that you
we have all the surveys.
So, yeah, we've looked at everything from the floor layouts, so schematics of size, even things from, you have a bank on the island, but maybe you want another type of bank with an ATM branch, just an ATM branch, right? Because you really don't have cash access on the island. You have amalgamated right in that one stop.
Isn't there an ATM at Dwayne Reed?
And Dwayne Reed.
I think it's a Chase.
There's a Chase.
And I think
I never
that
used
it
it.
only has.
Yeah, so that
has
makes-
I
a
feel like it's
ATM.
limited space, and there's a couple of stores which I'm very impressed with. One is in Long Island City called Kitchen Hardware Plus. Are you familiar with that one?
Kitchen Hardware Plus,
Yeah.
Basic Hardware Plus.
Yeah, so what it
Yeah.
is the front of the store is all very user-friendly housewares, and the back is a hardware store. And they have everything from dishes to glasses to blenders, things that people need. They wouldn't have to go off the island for a shower curtain, but upgraded, nice things. And another store is also, which I love, in Astoria called Lockwood. Are you familiar with that?
What is that?
It's
It's
Astoria.
called Lockwood.
Right,
Lockwood.
Astoria?
It's in
Yeah.
Astoria. It's a beautiful store, and it's gifts, cards. They even have baby clothes, which I think
Is that on Broadway or 30?
I think it's off a little. It's not on the
31st.
strip of Broadway.
Yeah.
It's sort of off a little bit. I just sort of
Yeah.
fell upon it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I was representing a client of mine that has a new development over there on 31st and Broadway, so we did some surveying around.
And then there's a beautiful florist called Petals and Roots.
Oh,
The florist would be very nice here.
Which we had
Would-
a lot.
We used to have
In a fire.
Really?
We had
And
one.
they couldn't reopen.
So on a few of our trips out to the island before we met with Hudson, we did talk to people in the street. We did talk to people just to see kind of what people were looking for. And a lot of people were talking about the old bakery. A lot of people were talking about find us a hardware store. We want a
Yes.
hardware store.
Yeah.
So taking things and food
And
was a big
definitely
thing too.
restaurants. And you have a lot of tourists, a lot of people coming over.
Yes, we do. Yes, you do. I should say.
And I think if there were more restaurants and more unique stores, like even the ice cream parlor, which I find totally charming.
Mhm.
I think that would make people even from Manhattan take a little day trip to Roosevelt Island. Having something unique.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even the monument, the FDR monument in the park at the bottom, that's been a big draw too. It's been very
And
nice.
there's nothing here. You walk on Main Street and there's nothing of interest.
That's why we're here.
Finding signs, when people go to the monument, they don't know about Main Street and the businesses there. Is there any way that we could have wayfinding signs?
And that's the discussion that's been.
Can I interrupt on that?
Okay, I'm
'Cause
sorry, I don't
No,
wanna
that's okay.
interrupt.
Say, are we
Oh.
into questions? Because I'd like to, before you answer, I'd like to make a comment on that. But maybe we're not ready for that. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about the directional signs. And my understanding, because this was promised in the original plan for Main Street and, other areas. And I guess the signs would be at the subway station and probably at the tram, directing people to make all the attractions, the whole 4 attractions on Main Street. My understanding from our last meeting with you, that whole thing is held up because there's an argument between you, Hudson Related, and RIRA, mainly who pays for it, why, how you pay for it, or who owns it. And so nothing is going on because you're tied up in this argument, and no one's trying to break through that argument.
Right, so I personally have not been involved in the discussions, so I don't have the kind of most up-to-date information on what the decision or what the discussion, I wouldn't classify it as an argument, it's just kind of a...
Dispute, how's that?
Yeah, I guess, or, it's a, RIAC has to give permission, and that part of the island or that type of decision-making, I think, is in their hands. And we, as you know, today, we put a proposal before them, and we've had discussions, but as far as I know, there's no resolution as to where that goes today.
Could community pressure, for example, I had a committee in RIRA, which is concerned with all the services that we have in Iowa. We have pretty good contacts into RIA. Could we raise that issue with the appropriate people in RIA and try and get something moving, saying that, community really needs this? What's the holdup, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we can bug them to death.
Yeah. I can't say don't ask or ask. Everyone's welcome to go to whatever officials there are and ask them. I can't say I know where that discussion is to say it's RIAC that's holding it up or Hudson at this moment. And I probably should have gotten that update before I came here. But that, I can try to get more information on that and share it with you.
I just have a quick question. As the master leaseholder of these businesses on Main Street, it's of course in your interest to see them thrive and to have people know about them when they get off the tram and the train. And also, you are the developer of Southtown, which connects, in a way, the tram and the train. So you sort of have property that under your control already. It's true, not exactly at the tram. The immediate area of the tram is under RIRA control, I understand that. But you're right by the train, and you're right across the street from the train. And you already have certain signage by the train saying, oh, this is where the Starbucks is, this is where the Dwayne Reed is. I believe there is a little bit of a sign there already. So along the same style of a simple sign like that, you could add, well, here is where the Trails is not in existence right now, but here is where, continue this way to Christie's, continue this way to the liquor store and so forth and so on. These are spots, or the delis up there or something. I mean, you have as much of an interest in a way to see those businesses thrive on Main Street as the ones in Southtown, I think. They're both paying rent. So
my interest is Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street, yeah. I mean,
so this is mine.
I don't see what the conflict could be. I don't see why you need to go through RIRA either, because Southtown actually connects those.
You can't put something up on RIAC property
No, not on
without their
RIAC, exactly.
permission.
Not on RIAC, but you wouldn't be putting it on RIAC property.
Sure.
You would be putting it
The
on.
Commons is RIAC property.
At Southtown?
Yes.
Is it?
100%.
Really? I thought that was
Not a portion of the sidewalks are the buildings, property, just a portion, a thin.
The Commons is RIAC property?
100%.
That is my understanding as well.
Yeah.
I think
but it's taken care of by the Southtown people.
No, it is not, man.
Really?
No.
Huh.
No. RIAC, you see the maintenance people, they come out, they mow the lawn, they do the gardening, whatever. Some of our people from 425 and my building, 455, will go out, the porters or the janitors will go out and clean the sidewalk, because part of the sidewalk is, it's part of 455.
Sold it to me, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I
and they
thought
pick
it
up-
was all part of
Okay,
okay.
yeah, can you find out